Okay, um, good day. Welcome to our Excel fundamental class. This is a follow-up on the basic data entry class we did. So today we are doing, if you don't have, if I'll drop a link to the earlier video in the comment section so that you can watch that later. But today we are looking at Excel formulas and functions, looking at the fundamentals of it. These are key things in data entry too. So Excel formulas and functions, they are very basic to performing calculations in Excel. So formulas and functions, they are used to perform calculations in Excel. Even though most times people use them interchangeably, but they are not actually the same. So a formula is a custom calculation that you create by yourself. So you create a formula by yourself. You can decide to use maybe a number. You can decide to use a cell referencing. You can decide to also use operators to create formulas. Why? And this is manually written by the user using different like operators such as addition operator, like the plus operator. Let's say, for example, if I have this data here and I want to perform calculation on this, I can do it using either a formula or a function. But here, let me say I want to add these two numbers. I can decide to say, okay, equal to, I can say equal to 2 plus 3. This will give me 5, right? So here, if you look at this, if you look at the formula bar, you see 2, you see plus, and you see 3. So you can actually create a formula using numbers and operator. The operator that we have here is the addition operator, right? Then we'll have numbers too. So this is, we manually created this, but we can also use cell referencing using the actual cell, so that in case, the beauty of Excel is whenever you make any modification, automatically it gets updated. This now, I just added these two numbers. What if I say, okay, let me put this one, this is an example, the formula. So these are just basic numbers. Let's say these are just numbers. What if I modify this and I change here to 3? What happens? Here is still showing 5. So you can see this is like hard coding it. But we can do something like, okay, using cell referencing. If I say, okay, equal to, note that before you write a formula in Excel, you have to use your equal to sign. It is very, very important. Use your equal to sign to perform that. So just know that you need to please, if you can hear me. Okay. Yes, I believe you can hear me. If you can hear me, please just say hi in the comment section, or just type I can hear you. Okay, just type you can hear me so that I know that you're following. Okay, so let's go to, so this we've successfully, okay, let's say we can use cell referencing too. Let's, okay, I'll say this plus this will give me what, 6, right? So if I come here and I say, okay, let me do some little modification, I say, okay, here I want to put 4, what happened? You can see automatically it has what, it has changed. Okay, so let's okay, so we've successfully done that. Please give me a minute. So let's use example. Let's use practical example of how we can do this. Let's say, for example, I have this data set here. Let's say STEM Up Africa electronics shop or gadget shop. We have a gadget shop and we did some sales. We want to calculate let's maybe enter this data. On Monday, how many computer was sold? Let's say 13 or 14. Then on Tuesday, let's say we sold 15. Wednesday, let's say we sold 16. Thursday 20, Friday same 14, on Saturday like 30, everybody's shopping. Then on Sunday, maybe let's say we do we sold like 4 because many people will be home trying to maybe rest and maybe no more shopping on that day. Okay, this is transmitting to Epi. See why it's not going there. Okay, if you're following, please, if you can hear me, just say you can hear me. Let me be sure. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm having a little technical issue. Okay, please give me a minute. I'll be back soon. I'm having a little glitch. So just give me a moment. I will be back soon. Trying to set up something. Okay, so if you are just joining, what we're actually doing today is um, as part of our data entry class or Excel fundamental class, we are trying to learn Excel formulas and functions. We're looking at Excel formulas and functions, and I said that these formulas and functions, they are very core. They are very important in data entry, because if you maybe probably entered your data and you want to perform calculation, you need formulas, you need functions, because without these two, you will not be able to perform any calculation in Excel. So, and I said formulas is a formula is a custom calculation that you create by yourself. So it's a custom calculation that you create by yourself. So the user actually creates this. You can decide to say, okay, you're creating it with a number, you're using cell referencing, using operators, but the keyword there is a calculation that you create by yourself. So it's then it's because you create it by yourself, it's more flexible because you can decide to tweak the formula the way you like, right? So that is a formula. So, and I said I use these numbers as examples. I said maybe for example you're trying to say, okay, you want to add two numbers, and the normal addition that we know in mathematics is also applicable here. If you the operator is the plus operator. Look at it. So if you want to create any formula or you want to perform any calculation, you need to use your equal to sign. So before you enter any formula, equal to sign is very important. So let me make this, let me increase this so that you can see it. Then you can also look at the formula bar to see what I'm trying to create. So I'm trying to create something like, okay, I want to add these two numbers. I can set to say, okay, I'm adding equal to 4. We have 4 plus 3, right? And it will give us what? 7. What if I come here and say, okay, I'm modifying this to like 6? What happens? Automatically you see that here, let me delete this, I did this earlier. Here you can see the formula, the answer still remains 7. So here we're just doing hard coding. But the beauty of Excel is the beauty of Excel is once you have a template, automatically you can, even if you change any number, it will update itself. So that is where cell referencing comes into play. So instead of me say 4 plus 3 manually, Excel works with cells. So I will say, okay, equal to here, this plus this will give me what? 9. So if I come here and do some modification and say, okay, 8, I'll still get 11. So that is a basic formula, right? So for those who, if you're just joining, welcome to STEM of Africa tutorial series. And this is a follow-up on our earlier Excel data entry class that we had. So let's use like an actual example, a real life example that we can have. Okay, so that is what formula, that's what a formula is. What if, let me just explain what a function is before we see how we can use the two. So a function, this is a built-in formula that is provided by Excel to perform specific tasks. So in a function, they are pre-built, they are built-in formula that Excel has already done for us. So they are designed to perform specific tasks, and it saves time and reduces error. Because if you can just easily call a function to perform a calculation for you. So we can say a formula, it's manually done by the user, but a function, this is pre-built already, or is a built-in formula in Excel. So formula, you create it by yourself, but function is already done by Excel for you. So we can say that every function is a formula, but not every formula uses a function. I hope that is clear. Please, if you can hear me, just help me type something in the comment to say, okay, I can hear you. And where are you watching me from? Okay. Okay, so let's use this example. Let's say, for example, STEM Up Africa gadget shop, right? We want to look at these data sets. I entered them earlier. I say, okay, on Monday we sold 14 computers. Then on Tuesday we sold 15 computers. On Wednesday, 16 computers. Thursday, 20. Friday, 14. Saturday, 30. Maybe because a lot of people shopped on, usually shop on Saturday. Then on Sunday, the sales kind of low. Maybe we didn't open on time. So, and we have maybe 4, right? Let's not try to perform like basic operations that in using formulas. So, let's say, for example, I want to add these two numbers, Monday, the sales on Monday and the sales on Tuesday. I said earlier that if I say, okay, I just come here and say 14 plus 15, I'll get my answer to be 29. But is that what I want? What if I say, okay, maybe when I was entering Monday sales, I made a mistake. And I say, okay, I'm changing it. I forgot it was actually 13 that we recorded. Here it's still showing us 29, right? So it is not correct. So note that Excel uses referencing is very, very important whenever you are performing any calculation in Excel. So here I can say equal to this. The sales of Tuesday is on what? Say B2. You can see it already. Plus say B4. I'll press my enter key, right? So this is this. If I come here and I do any modification, revert it back to our original. Let me increase this so that you see what we are talking about, right? Okay. So if I come here and say, I made a mistake, or maybe the data officer or the sales rep made a mistake while recording, that's okay. 15. You can see automatically we have 30. So that's the beauty of Excel. Then, so what operator did we just use? Which formula? You can see the formula. Formula is simply B3 plus B4, right? So what did we use here? If you know it, you can just kindly comment it. It's the addition operator. We just use the addition operator. What if we want to get a difference between maybe Wednesday and Thursday, so that we know how many sales we did on that day? Here, what operator are we going to use? This. What operator are we going to use? We're going to use the subtraction operator, which is the normal minus that you know. So let's do that. Difference between Thursday and Wednesday. So what are we going to do? Here it will be Thursday minus so the difference is simply 4. So if I come here and do like any modification to like 18, you see our difference is what? Is is 2. So this is how formulas are done. Let's say, for example, I want to let this here, we use the what? Let me put it in quote. Okay, here we can type it directly. So we use the subtraction operator. Then if we want to use the multiplication operator, let's say I want to multiply these two numbers, these two, I will use the multiplication operator. The multiplication operator in Excel is just asterisk. So asterisk is the multiplication operator. Let me increase it so that you see it well. Please, if you are following, if you have any question, please drop it. Let me use like few seconds to check the comment section. Okay, so are you following? Anybody watching? Okay. Okay, so let's say for example we want to use the multiplication operator to create our formula by division is slash. So let me increase this so that you see it well. So this is the operator for division. So here we'll have, let's say I want to divide 2. So we've gotten 59 back. Okay, let me do something. Let's say, okay, we have this. So automatically, so we've been able to create simple formulas. There are other complex formulas that we'll create, but you know, today I said we're just touching the fundamentals of using formulas and function in Excel. So now you already know that formulas are built by the users. They are built for specific purpose. They are used to build custom calculation. This one you create it by yourself. Depending on the tasks that you want to do. But for functions, they are built-in formulas that are designed to perform different tasks, right? So all these things that we've done. So today we're going to touch a few functions. Let's say for example I want to add all this. I want to add this to get the total. I want to get the total of the total sales from STEM Up Africa gadget shop. We want to see how many computers we sold in this for a week, for the period that we're checking. So let's quickly do something. First of all, we'll try to use the formula to do this. Then we'll also try function. Here, if I want to say, okay, I'll say equal to, remember, what we're trying to get now is total. And to get total, it means we're adding all the items that were sold from Monday to Sunday, right? So here now we have, on the first day, on Monday, we sold how many items? 14, and we have it on this cell. So let's try to add it. So what operator are we going to use? If you know it, please put it in the comment section. 1 second, 2 seconds. Okay, let's go. Here we have B3 plus B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7, okay, then plus B8, then the last one B9. What did we get? 115, right? That is a lot for a week. So it means we're making some good sales. 115 computer is a lot of money. Okay, so here we've been able to get the total, right? So now we can that is what we just did now, is using formula. But what if we have like 1000 items? We start doing B3 plus B4 plus B5 up to B1000. That's tedious, right? So, but thanks to Excel, that is where function now come into play. So functions, they are built-in formulas already that we have in Excel. They are built-in formula that Excel already provided for us, and they are used to perform specific tasks. So we have functions for different things. Like this formula that we just did, we can tweak it, although even in function, but if we want to call up a function will just do it seamlessly for us. So they are easier and they are faster. So know when to use a formula and when to use a function. So for formula, you are the one customizing it to say, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve this. But for functions, they already they are built in already. So let's use a function for this. So we're going to call the sum function, right, to achieve this. Here we have okay. So this will give us, remember I said something earlier. If you want to type in a function or a formula, you need your equal to sign, right? So I'll come and call the sum function. When I type my sum function, it said add all numbers in a range of cells. Remember, in our earlier class of data entry, we said Excel work with what? With cells. So when they say range of cells, what are the range? Add all numbers in a range of cells. So we're adding range from Monday to what? To Sunday, right? We're adding from Monday to Sunday. When I put in the bracket, so when you want to use a function, remember you must put it in a bracket or parenthesis, right? Then the things in the parentheses, they're actually the argument. So if you open it, if you're following with your computer, you see something like number 1, number 2, like that. So here I have my number 1, number 2, but we already know that it's a range. So easily you can type it manually, but the quickest way to do it is to just select them. So if I close my bracket, so you can see some B3 to B9. I put my So you can see what we try to do for how many that took us a lot of seconds to achieve. With a simple function, we achieved it, right? So this is a sum function. Then we can, for the fact that we're adding the numbers from beginning to the end, you can also use something like the auto sum. So you can see it under formula. So this is it. So if you click on auto sum, automatically, let me delete all this. Click on auto sum. Just click on auto sum. It will just do it automatically for you too. So that's another way to do that. Right, so we'll also look at another function to like the average. But before then, let's try to calculate the average of this using a formula. So let's try to calculate this using a formula. So here we already have our total. You know, normally to calculate average is what? The total number of items divided by the number of occurrence or number of items. So now we will already know that Monday to Sunday is what? Monday to Sunday is 7 days. So here we'll have our total here already. We can decide to say, okay, here let's put the average somewhere here. You can say this divided by what? Divided by 7. So it will give us our average. You can still decide to say, okay, you want to do it in that other way that will achieve the formula by saying B1, sorry, not B1, B equal to this plus, but that's quite tedious because you already have the total somewhere, so you just divide it by the number of occurrence or the number of items, right? So this will give us, yes. So you can decide to say, okay, close it in your bracket. Now that you are looking at how formula are being created, I think you're already thinking of a formula that you can create. So all these things, it's the simple mathematics that you know. Once your mathematics, you can perform basic operation in mathematics. Excel too will be very easy to do. So that is it. We achieve it by dividing it by the total we already got, divide by 7, then we put this in bracket to divide by 7. We can also just say sum up to this place in bracket divide by 7 to still give us our answer. So there are many ways to approaches to mathematics, right? Okay, quickly, maybe we should be rounding up this class in like maybe 2-3 minutes. We'll also continue tomorrow, but let's quickly just do the average. There's a function to call average. So if you type average, there are lots of formulas, but what are for functions, but the one we want to do now is average. So average returns the average arithmetic mean, in bracket arithmetic mean, of its argument, which can be numbers or names, arrays, or reference that contains a number. So in bracket, when you open, you also accept an argument too, or argument. So you take the range, close it, and you press your enter key. Right? So that is how to calculate average. So quickly, if we want to, let's say for example, you want to calculate they say, okay, which day did we get the minimum, or what is the minimum items that we sold? There's a formula in Excel called there's a function to call minimum. If you want to get the minimum, you can say, okay, min. Always know that you open your bracket, then pick the range. Minimum sold, see, okay, yeah, 4, right? So for maximum too, you pick your equal to, and you say, okay, max, open bracket, and you close it. So if we have, see what will happen. Let me make this place bold So this is for mean and for mode, right? Sorry, minimum and maximum, not mean and mode, sorry. So this is mean, minimum. Let me type it in full so that you know. Minimum. Then here is your what? Maximum, right? So what topic do you want me to take next time? Please just drop it in the comment section. So I believe today we've been able to look at some basic functions and formulas in Excel, and I hope if you enjoyed the class, please consider liking, subscribing, and also share to your folks. So what we do as STEM of Africa, we promote STEM education, from computing, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you want maybe one-on-one class too, you can always send us a message. Our email for now is stemofafrica@gmail.com. You can follow us. If you type this on Google or any search engine at STEM of Africa or just STEM of Africa, you'll see us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, and Threads. So if you have any question, you can drop them in the comment section, or you can also email us. We have lots and lots of resources in our channel. So please do it to subscribe. It's actually free, and turn on notifications so that you can always get updates. Like, share, and follow. Recommend this. So the content we do, it's the materials cut across from secondary school, university students, that's basically in sciences. If you're studying engineering, computer science, computer engineering, mathematics, physics, chemistry, we have all of them in the channel. And we are STEM professionals, certified ones, PhD, current. So we have you at heart. Just try us. Send us any topic that is disturbing you. You'll be sure that we'll get step-by-step video. Some people have actually sent us requests, and we've made those videos for them, and they enjoyed it. So what topic again do you want in Excel? Although we'll still continue these formulas and functions. There are lots. Okay, let me just, if you want this template that I use, I can send to you, but it's not very big. You can just say I want it in the comment section. I will arrange it and send to you so that you use it to also try what for practice. So if you want to get more functions, you see them here. You see from insert function, AutoSum, financial, logical, date and time, mathematics and trigonometry. Excel is a very, very sophisticated software that you can use for a lot and lots of applications. We are just starting from the fundamentals. If you follow this series, I believe at the end of the day you can use Excel for your personal business, for budgeting, for lots of things. Even as students, use it to plan your budget, calculate your CGPAs, and the rest of them. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know today is holiday, for enjoying your holiday. For those who were able to join in, thank you. I believe you enjoyed it. So just drop a like for us. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.